everyone and welcome back. It is 2023 and it feels like a long time since I've chatted to you. It's probably about a month. I hope you all had a lovely, wonderful Christmas, however and whichever way you celebrate it, and New Year. We had lots of family and friends around the house, in and out of the house, so it's been a wonderful time, and I celebrated a big birthday on the 5th of January. So I'm now 50. Whoop whoop! Very, very excited that I got to 50 and long may that last. Anyway, it's good to be back. As I like to start every year with you, please tap a little comment of things that are maybe bothering you or questions about makeup and skincare that you kind of can't quite get the answers to. Always gives me a little bit of inspiration on how to start and what information that I need to share with you, because we've been doing this a few years now. I think it's nearly 8 years, and sometimes I think, what else should I tell them? And it's lovely to do new products, and it's lovely to share new skincare and makeup and just kind of be on the same page, I guess, because we're all going through different things, possibly see the global world of YouTube, you know, different times of seasons and weather and stuff. But I think I know I've got such a lovely tribe of women, and we all love to use makeup and skincare to make ourselves look and feel better. So great. What shall I do today? I really couldn't decide what to do today, but I thought, my friend said, I love your makeup recently. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? That's brilliant. I've had a whole box of inspirational stuff that I've been collecting that I wanted to test over this period, and I haven't really bothered. I've been wearing one makeup, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go and show you the makeup, the fresh wintry makeup that I've been wearing that has made me feel less tired and grey, although this light is actually quite pretty, so I'm looking much better through the lens than I am in real life. Well, that's how I feel, but anyway, there we go. Let me just grab my little mirror. Right, so I think I spoke about this last time. Hada Lobo, amazing Japanese skincare, affordable, fantastic. They do, as I talked about the Shiseido product at the end of last year, they really know how to formulate hyaluronic in a brilliant way. This is the 5 times HA day cream in a milk, and again, really lovely for this time of year. So I've already put that on my skin and finished off with a little bit of SPF Protect and Prime from Emma Hardy, which I bought this again over Christmas. It always shows me get sent a lot of things, but also buy things and things you just think, oh right, I definitely need that. It's such a nice winter SPF because it's super light under makeup. So skin is feeling all lovely and prepped. Now you might notice that the eyebrows are looking rather lovely. Yesterday I went back to see Miriam. So if you have semi-permanent makeup on your eyebrows, and I'm not sure if it's the same for microblading, you get a second appointment too, just to make sure that you're happy with the shape when the colour and the ink has faded, whether you want a few more little hairs. And so I went in yesterday and I had a few little more hairs just placed in here and just extended the tail a little bit more. And as you can see, they are super natural. I haven't done anything with them. You can't touch them for sort of 2 or 3 days. You can't exercise, you can't go in hot baths, saunas, Bikram, that kind of stuff. So it lets the ink settle really well into the skin. And so I'm just going to leave them as they are. But I don't know if any of you also have had your eyebrows done. It just, I was always like, if I was like going for a walk or something and someone's going to take a picture, I'd always like be like putting my eyebrows in place, like a comb over hair, like, oh, stick up the eyebrows. And now I just feel like I'm tidy. I feel like my face is tidy, like I've put myself together a bit more and it's zero effort. So I have really enjoyed doing that. So all I've been doing is using my Halo Glow liquid filter, the e.l.f. product that has been a seller, but I know it's back in stock. I am shade, oh flippin' heck. I tell you what I need to do, add to my very long to-do list is just get more glasses that I can see, because I'll put it in the description box. It'll be in the description box. This shade, I just need to have more glasses around. So all I've done, literally, because I haven't really bothered, I haven't worked professionally during this time. The agency sort of closed around about the 22nd of December, maybe a little bit before that. And yeah, I haven't done any professional work. I've got a few jobs this week, and then actually when this film comes out, I'm just going to change my mirror, so I'm actually looking at myself in the monitor and then I always get it wrong. I'm going to America. I'm going to take my son, who has earned himself a full scholarship to play soccer in the States, and let's turn that off, and we are going to, or I am going to take him to his college to settle in. So actually when this film comes out, I'll be there. First son leaving the nest. I'm sure many of you have had little bubbas that have flown the nest, and not so bad really if it's university in the same country, because you can pop for Sunday roast or different time zone, different country. Anyway, it'll be fine. Let's not talk about that. So as you can see, I put the elf on haphazardly, and I put it on in that kind of region of my face. I like the dough, but very, very haphazardly. But did you watch that when I placed it on, it gets a lovely, it's nice and yellow, that's why I like this. My skin is a bit pinky greeny, and it just kind of adds that little bit of warmth and kind of calms it down. But I'm not putting it in the orbital areas of my face because that will create too much shine. You can see kind of makes the mole look a little bit ugly too if it's got that high glimmer, because this is lovely, this product, but it is sheeny. But if your skin is dry and you're in a sort of low light area, as in you haven't got much daylight throughout the day, it does give your skin a lift, but I couldn't just wear it as an all over. Just gonna make sure that mole. So I go in, I have been going in with my trusty Glossier Stretch in G10. Just a little bit of finger application. I haven't actually gone as light as I would do normally because, as I said, this is my quick makeup, and I wouldn't actually do 2 applications of the elf either. I did that because I lost my train of thought because I started talking about taking my son to America, and I thought, oh God, I've completely forgotten what I was doing. So I did it again because I didn't talk you through it. So forgive me on that. So I would just do literally the ... and then I would put the concealer in just in this area and around my nose. I think I'm going to get some IPL. Did you know those little veins? Oh my God, how many lurgies are there around at the moment? Oh, I had a cough, as you can tell probably. I've got a little bit of a sniffle. So it's just really annoying going from one thing to the next, and I sort of used to pride myself for not really getting that poorly much. I thought I had quite a strong immune system, but I think we're all suffering the consequences of being locked down, yeah? So this is a similar colour to the halo, and the reason that I didn't choose a lighter colour, which I normally do if I'm being a little bit more careful with my makeup, is that, as you can see, I put it around my nose and put it on my chin, and then that would just be too much. So for a quick kind of cover-up makeup, if you get the same sort of similar colour, I've got the sheen, I've got the nice kind of like glow to my skin, but I've just got that little bit of extra coverage where I need it, and I simply don't bother with powder at all. And so my favourite Hourglass palette currently, I do change them depending on the coolness of my skin, is the Ambient Lightening Edit Volume 3 or 2. Volume 3. I'll put the correct link in the description box. And I love this because I love the warmth it gives me, and then the bright pink across the front of my cheeks. Okay, so I did have a double-ended brush that I was using, but it's gone for a walk, like my tweezers and my little facial razors that keep going for a walk. Anyway, I'm going to use these 2 brushes. Now, you may have seen a trend across TikTok, Instagram, whatever, about this kind of like burnt winter face. I have loved doing the bright pink cheeks for a long time because it really does make a difference, especially in winter. And I do love to wear denim and pink, and so I look back on my films at the different times or the same times of year, it really does become kind of like a very repetitive, I suppose, look of makeup, but you do tend to go for the same colours that give you a little bit of a lift if you've got the same colour skin as me. But even if you've got a darker skin, using those pigmented colours gives you a lift, and pink is such a great colour to give you a lift. So I'm going to use the smaller brush here, and I'm just going to go in, and I just do go in, and I make sure that I twiddle the powder all over the brush, so it's not just on one side, because then that does tend to give you like a little bit of a stripe. So just take the excess off and then go right across. But I've really gone quite Aunt Sally with this blusher, and I've loved the way it looks, because I just love, can you see that sort of real very soft, huey, pinky hue that it gives my skin. So it kind of gives it real dimension. It doesn't look flat, and it kind of makes the front of my face look just a little bit fuller. And I've really gone, you know how normally precise I am with my blusher brushes? I mean, that's normally the size of the blusher brush, right? So I've gone a bigger brush because I want a softer hue of colour, sort of like all over my cheek. I'll go in on the other side, and it's sort of straight across. And I've quite enjoyed this sort of like, as I said, Aunt Sally. If you don't know who Aunt Sally is, you're probably not a child of the 80s. Aunt Sally was Wurzel Gummidge's best friend from the BBC. She had bright pink cheeks. I mean, dolly cheeks, whatever you want to call it. But the trend that's kind of on social media at the moment is when you take it right across the bridge of your nose as well, which, you know, can soften the area of the pink. You can put it in your eyelids. You can put it across your lips if you want to, but I don't mind a little bit of colour, sort of like a watercolour, just across the bridge of the nose, because it kind of just softens it. But I have just really enjoyed, if you are an Hourglass fan, you'll know what I mean by the kind of glow of this powder. It is really the only sort of powder that doesn't really look like powder. And it obviously blends, as you've noticed, I didn't put any powder on my skin. And if you normally tend to put powder on a skin, on your complexion, it's always great to have a layer of translucent powder first to get that soft blend. But with Hourglass, you don't need to do that. I remember the first time I noticed how beautiful these blushes were when the brand first launched in Liberties in London. There was this beautiful man, and he had the most amazing sculpted makeup, and I was just literally transfixed with his skin, because it sort of basically is doing what mine's doing now. It just looks so luminous but perfected and not greasy and slimy or glittery, and I was like, wow, what's on your skin? And that's where I fell in love with Hourglass. So yeah, been really going over the top with my pink cheeks, and I've really loved it. Put on a nice little woolly hat and off I go. Bit of lip balm. She might put a bit of lip balm on now actually. My lips are feeling a little bit dry. It is that time of year, isn't it, where it's lip balm, lip balm, lip balm. Where are you? Here we are. What's your favourite lip balm? Cicablast. This is my Beauty by One. I quite like this because it's doesn't taste of anything, and it lasts really well, and it's in a lipstick case. I don't really enjoy the finger ones. The Sicily La Balm Rose is beautiful and is really glossy, but I just don't like, I like it in a bullet, I have to say. I like it in a bullet, not really into the squeezy things. And there's so many nice squeezy lip balms, but I do like the bullet personally. Let's keep that on because it makes my lips just look a little bit better. Right, so then I will take a bigger brush. And remember, the bigger the brush, the softer the colour. Just 1 second, I can hear my family chatting outside, and I've told them just to give me 20 minutes, right? Right, so a bigger brush, softer application. The smaller the brush, the more intense the application. So if you want to be gentle to see how the colour works on your skin and how your complexion receives the pigment, then just go bigger. And then I've sort of gone, this is why I love these colours, because you can kind of work them. I've started with the darker one and then finished off just with the lighter one. So going with the dark one, and I've just added a little bit of definition to my skin. So it's not just about the pink cheeks, but just on the outside, not across my nose. I mean, and I'm looking at myself now, you might have overdone it. I probably have overdone it. What I need is like, this is a clean brush by the way, as I'm just softening the edge. It's kind of, there we are, that's a little bit. But it is meant to be, it is meant to be a very pinky look, which it is. I think the lights just dropped, so everything's kind of gone a bit whoop. Let me just open this blind here. Just gets a little bit more light and makes it a little bit softer. So I felt really happy with my little Aunt Sally cheeks. That's given me a little bit of freshness when I felt a bit kind of like grey and sallow. And then eyes, I've kept super simple. There's a brand called Gen Z, which I'm really enjoying. And again, it's just a little bit of cream. And I've been placing that on the outer corner of my eyes, like so. And then going in with a little bit of a brush. And this is literally just for a soft bit of definition. and just to kind of make my eyes look sort of less hoodie, but it's just on the outside. It dries, it doesn't feel tight, it doesn't pinch your skin, it doesn't make the layers of your eyes stick together like some cream eyeshadows, which I really hate, because obviously my skin's like a little bit baggy around my eye, so when it dries and it sticks together, it feels like your eyes are sort of doing all this. I'm like, oh no, that makes it even worse. So lovely if you've got nice, tight, taut skin, but if you haven't, bye. He's off to see my mum. Sorry, again, lost my train of thought. This very nice soft matte. See, again, so simple. I can't, after years of doing brow, it's just so nice of not to have to bother. And I will bother, as in terms of like grooming them and stuff, but it's very nice. I think that's the best treatment I had last year, actually. Good, feels nice, not sticky, not dry, not tight. Again, because I've had very simple makeup, I have actually continued very much with my Charlotte Tilbury push-up lashes, which is something that I would probably use for a fuller or a more defined eye look. But just because, like I said, that the makeup's quite simple, this has given me just a little bit of definition on my eye very, very quickly. And then I haven't had to worry about it anymore, and I've just literally done it on my top lashes only. Just to kind of create that lift. Oh, there we are, a little bit of evening sun coming through. I think when you want to have a little bit of makeup on because you're feeling, I've been sort of like on and off poorly and having fun like the whole of Christmas and New Year, I think probably like, I'm sure like you guys. So this is actually kind of made me feel like a little bit healthier and lifted. And so yes, this has been my look, and I just thought I'd share it with you because it was a good way to start. I've got lots of ideas, and also I was going to start the year with my friend who stayed with us, who has this colour code company, and she does your colours and tells you what colours you need to be wearing to make the best of yourself and your complexion, your eyes, etc., and what colours would drain you. And I think there's something in there with makeup, so I'm going to try and get her on and then help her to advise you what colours work for you. It was a really big thing in the 80s, right? She's modernised it. I didn't really like all those sort of swathes of fabric over me. I'm going to get her in anyway, and we'll have a bit of a chinwag about it because you'll love her. Anyway, we just didn't have time and her kids were like running around, so it wouldn't have been very good content. So I'll get her back, excuse me, when the children are back at school. And then my most favourite lipstick is going back to Yarrow. This is Chantecaille, and it is very much like that sort of Dr. Perricone no lipstick, which for me I began to smell weird after a bit of time. I loved this last year and I love this again. I can actually use it as a lip balm as well, but it is lips but just beautified. It's got the most gorgeous texture. You can literally just keep putting it on, but it amplifies the shape of your lip. I haven't been bothering with lip liner or anything. I've been putting lots of fragrance on, and actually my son for Christmas bought me one of my a beautiful atomizer. I had the neon one, I had the neon clay one, smashed on the floor, had it for years, loved it. And I bought the travel one, which I didn't like because it was too noisy. Then he got me one from Oliver Bonus, which is green. Or maybe I'll show it to you in a moment. Oh, I'll show it to you now. How lovely that is. I mean, I've got so many green things now. We've gone mad with the green things, but it's really, really nice. Half the price of the neon one. So that's what they got me. Great. Okay, see what I mean? Just very, very soft and natural. But everyone has said, oh, I love your makeup. I think it's probably I don't often wear such bright pink cheeks, even though I just softened it. Now I've softened it, now should I just go and do a little bit more? Just on that height, it's just quite, there you are. There you are, that's what look I was looking for. I need to go higher. It's almost just on that concealer line of where you put your concealer under your eyes there, and that kind of gives you a little bit of a lift, so it's actually a completely different placement. It's over and above the apples of your cheeks, and again across the nose and around the eyes if you want to, but just be cautious obviously if you've got rosacea or lots of dilated capillaries, this is not a look for you. You of course can do it, but you're going to have a medium to full coverage foundation to neutralise and to cover and take the redness out before you put more pink in. So it might not be your vibe. I totally get that, but it works for me because I'm quite sallow and pale, and I react to colour quite well. Colour cheers me up, whether it's in a bloom, a beautiful bloom, or colour in my makeup, colour in my nails. Yeah, look, don't leave me here. Don't leave me here because I'm going to get pinker and pinker and pinker. It's a flushy blush makeup. Not sure how I will name this one, but anyway, maybe you learned something. Maybe it was just nice to hang out and have a little bit of escapism talking about makeup and beauty. I've got lots of things planned to come. Maybe we'll go back to the old vibe of just doing those kind of like basic tools again, sort of the basic lessons of makeup, or maybe just go through the best foundations and the best concealers, and maybe just kind of go through everything in more detail. Anyway, let me know what you fancy, and I'll press record and off we go. Anyway, stay well, stay safe, and most of all, be happy. See you soon. Bye for now.